Hello and welcome to this user guide for the Alaska platform to viewing and managing security issues. As we can see, this is the application screen of the Alaska platform, showing all the applications that have been configured for the Alaska platform for it to be doing the automated security testing and risk analysis and associated outputs. There are 15 applications listed here. Each application can have multiple versions tracked within it. For example, staging, development, or different versions of your application and products. And every application shows the versions, the number of vulnerabilities in the latest version, the total risk in this particular configuration, and the latest scan. For this user guide, we're going to show the test bank application and track the vulnerabilities and issues found within it. The advantage of this system, keeping all applications in one place, means that you have the visibility and traceability of all your software checks in one place. And with the Alaska platform's API-led environment, you can have access to that in all the other systems that you require. So the test bank application has one version at this URL. This is for DAST scanning. It has the latest scan has 13 issues. This particular demo system is set up with value at risk as a scoring system to allow monetary values to be put against vulnerabilities, and the aggregation for this application is $636. The Alaska platform can be configured with different ways of measuring risk, from simple red, amber, green or high, medium, low, to CVSS scoring, to monetary value at risk scoring, and onto other types of risk scoring as well. This helps you understand the business priorities against those issues rather than just a number of issues and simple technical understandings of that. There's more information on the risk prioritization of the Alaska platform in the other user guides. To view the latest vulnerabilities against this test bank system, we simply click on Results. Here we see an aggregated list of all the issues found by multiple tools against this particular application. This could be SaaS tools, it could be dynamic tools, it could be cloud or container or other custom types of tools that have been executed and brought together in this one screen showing the issues for the particular application. This again gives a centralized approach to having all the various issues brought into one place, which is a lot easier for security teams and for administrators to handle. If you want to see previous executions of testing against this application, we can view the older reports. And that gives a list of all the different vulnerabilities that were found in the particular previous scans. It shows an historical record of the issues that existed and also shows what has been then fixed because those issues no longer exist, which provides auditability on a per issue and per application basis. If you wish to see the logs for this particular test execution, you can do that with these two tools that were configured for this system. Again, with the Alaska platform, you can configure one to very many tools to be able to execute it, and you will see logs for each of those. So to go back then to the issues listed here, if you wish to see more information on a particular issue, you can simply click on Full Details, which gives you information on the vulnerability title, severity, the affected URL or the source code file for source code scanning, and the summary, explanation, and recommendation for this issue. Now, the Alaska platform brings these informations together either from the tool that was executed to provide the vulnerability in the first place. It can come from editability of the issue itself, so administrators can change these issues, or it can come from what the Alaska platform has as advisories, which is the ability for an organization or a team to overwrite the descriptions and the recommendations for particular types of issues to make them a lot more relevant to your particular organization. And we'll look at that later on in this guide. Here in this particular system, we have the risk value at risk system set up. So it shows you the various risk values for that. If you have red, amber, green and other situations, they will show different outputs. This particular vulnerability was found by Burp Suite, which again was automated and orchestrated through the Alaska platform. And the ASVS category the Unesco platform uses the OWASP Advanced Security Verification Standard as a categorization mechanism to allow all the issues found to be into particular categories so organizations can understand what types of issues are reoccurring across applications and across teams. We also have the CVSS number here, particular to this actual issue. Note that this information, as well as being printed out in our UI, can also be extracted via the API and can be extracted via Slack and Jira tickets that can be created or updated based on the vulnerability information being passed. Again, that helps you reduce the amount of manual exercise that you need to do in terms of administering and managing these vulnerabilities, and provides that whole DevOps and Agile automated approach for issues being automatically found and your management systems being automatically updated. If you wish to edit an issue, you can quickly click this button and change any of those values. You can change the URL if you needed to, the recommendations for this particular issue, the overall risk, you can modify this side. You can change the ASVS category, and you can change the CVSS category for this particular issue. You can also fix the dazed override, and that will be covered in our user guide on risk enumeration. If you wish to change something, you simply add the text, modify the text, and hit save. If there are issues that you wish to have added that are not found by the automated tools, you can manually add vulnerabilities via this UI. Again, it's the same fields, the same taxonomy as we have from automated tooling. This allows you to put in manual pen test findings and any other findings that you have and you wish to add in. The advantage here is that then those issues become part of the automated system. They are held in the historical record of the system, and you can mark them as fixed at a later point, and also becomes part of the automated reporting and API that the Unesco platform provides. If you wish to use our API again, you can add any manual issues into the Unesco platform using our external API and not having to use our user interface. Again, just allowing you to help the communication amongst your different organizations and making those systems agile for the way the issues are actually raised and recorded. Issues can be organized through their level of risk, through the titles that they have. Any issue that you wish to mark as a false positive can be set through our false positive mode. You can set anything as a false positive, which means that gets set as something that is not communicated in the risk of the product. It's also remembered so that subsequent scans and security checks with those same tools will not raise the same issue. So the advantage is you only have to set false positives once, and they are remembered for the lifetime of that application. You can also do the same thing with duplications, duplicate issues. Obviously, if you're running multiple tools, sometimes they can find the same issue within an application. The Unesco platform has a measure of vulnerability correlation to be able to remove those automatically, but any which you manually wish to remove can be set in duplication mode, and you can set something as a original, set other ones as a duplicate, and again, the Unesco platform remembers that and ensures that you do not need to set those as duplicates in the future. So subsequent security scans will again remember that there's only one issue instead of 2, 3, or 4. So the risk prioritization here is automated. It happens automatically as soon as issues are found and put into the Unesco platform from the various security tooling that is executed, plus the manual issues that are provided. And this helps organizations with the risk prioritization. Which issues do they need to fix first? Which issues can they leave to later on, or maybe not have to provide fixes for because they're a lower level of risk applied to those. This risk obviously is shown for this particular application, but you'll be able to see that across multiple applications and across multiple teams to help with the prioritization for your applications, your teams, and your departments. If you wish to change the descriptions of particular issues, you can do that. So if we take this particular issue, the recommendation on lack of SSL or TLS here can be taken from the particular tool that found that. Or else what you can do to save a lot more time is you can change configuration of advisories, and you can actually create particular advisories for ASVS categories and specify more OWASP information. You can take particular URLs or training videos or teams to contact, etc. within your organization, and you can set those in this advisory. By setting these advisories, what that means is from that point on, any application or every security scan within the Alaska platform that finds an issue of that type will not take the recommendation or the text from the tool, but will take your advisory instead. And this saves software teams and application teams and security teams a lot of time in having to repeat the same information on fixes across lots of different teams whenever they come up during vulnerability scans or during penetration tests. Here instead, you can have a single place to advise all teams across all systems from this point on the best way to provide those remediations and provide fixes. Which means if you provide libraries or other ways to quickly solve these types of problems, the application teams and software teams will know immediately what that latest advice is. So to go back then to the application testing we had, all this information can be provided in CSV format, or it could be provided in a downloaded PDF format. This allows you then to take the information you had and to be able to say, pass that out like a normal application or typical security output information. This generates the report based on all the information you already have. There's a lot of ability there to be able to modify these reports, put in more overviews, put in different ways of describing the information, and that will be shown in another user guide. So we scroll on down, we can see that the information here is allowing you to understand the risk of the information. Again, that can be set to high, medium, low, red, amber, green, CVSS. Gives you the categories, gives you the resources, summaries, and explanations. And these can be recorded for your audit purposes, or these can be passed on to the application teams as a way of telling them the output of the information that's been able to be checked. Heading back to the application vulnerability screen, we can again see previously invalid or duplicated vulnerabilities. If we need to set those back to valid, we can do that. Otherwise, they are kept for historical purposes and to understand that they are still provided, but also they are not provided in that PDF report or the UI. They are available over the API information if required. It should then be noted that any of this information is available over our API. Simply clicking on our Swagger documentation allows you to see the different vulnerabilities you can extract. The Alaska platform is designed as an API first system, meaning that everything we have shown in this user guide is available for you to configure and set up in your own API interactions if that's what you require. Thank you very much.